Fossil fuels are a requirement for human prosperity. Reverse racism is racism. An open border is not a border. Parents determine the education of their children. The nuclear family isn't a bad word. It's the greatest form of governance known to mankind. Capitalism isn't something we need to apologize for. It's what lifts us up from poverty. Not crony capitalism, but the real thing. There's 3 branches of government in the United States, not 4. And our U.S. Constitution, it is the strongest and greatest guarantor of freedom in human history. That is the truth. We fight for the truth. We stand up for the truth. That is what won us the American Revolution. That is what reunited us after the Civil War. That is what won us 2 world wars and the Cold War. That is what still gives hope to the free world. And if we can revive that dream over group identity and victimhood and grievance, then nobody in the world, not a nation, not a corporation, not a virus, not China, is going to defeat us. That is what American exceptionalism is all about. And that is what we are going to revive to save this great country. Thank you for coming out today, guys. God bless you and your families, and may God bless our United States of America. We will not stop until we get this job done. I want to open this up. You guys in the front or in the back as well. We got a microphone. Give me the hard ones before we head out of here. Thank you.
All right. Yes, Angie. Good morning, Vivek. My name is Jacob, but thank you for how you have been speaking about against the carbon pipelines. I'm personally impacted by it. I rent a farm about 15 miles east of here that has had proceedings of eminent domain filed against it. And I learned when you rent a farm that has eminent domain against it, you also get eminent domain against me.
Yes.
I have all the paperwork at home.
That's exactly right.
Which is really interesting. So it baffles me how the swamp has gotten so bad at even the state level.
Yep.
That an entrepreneur, Bruce Rastack, who lives about 5 miles north of here, that he can write a check to our governor, he can write a check to our Senate Majority Leader, he can write a check to the governor of South Dakota, he can write a check to the governor of North Dakota to make sure, with all his financial power, that this pipeline is going to happen. You talked about draining the swamp. How are you going to cascade that down to even the state level?
Yep.
Because there is only so much that is done at the federal level, but we have a problem with the swamp right here in our backyard.
Totally. And it's going to be people like Steve King, who are patriots, who actually address this at the state level. He was a rep before he actually became a congressman. What's your name, sir?
Jacob.
What's it?
Jacob.
Jacob, yeah. So there's a trickle-down effect. And I'll even use this carbon capture pipeline as an example to share with you how this works. Yes, it's being done at the state level, the eminent domain and everything else. But the whole reason the darn carbon capture pipeline is being built in the first place is because our own money, not just in Iowa, just across the country, our own money is being used, federal taxpayer money, to pay somebody to capture carbon dioxide from ethanol plants buried in the ground in a pipeline they build across your land to go bury it in the ground in North Dakota. In other places like Mississippi where they've done this, there's been leaks. It sent people to the hospital. A good portion of one town in Mississippi ended up in a hospital because of this. That's why many farmers are saying, I don't want that in my backyard. And yet they're saying, no, we will build it across your backyard. And if you don't like the price we're going to pay you, we're going to name the price anyway. That's eminent domain. So it starts with the federal government. And I want you to understand, every president since 2000, literally every Republican and Democratic president since 2000, we've had 2 Republican presidents, 2 Democratic presidents. Each one signed it into law. I don't even know if they knew what they were signing because the special interests in lobbying just sort of package into these omnibus bills and ram it right through there. That's the broken politics. So I've given some specific examples of how I would end this. As your next president, and I've done CO2 pipeline, anti-CO2 pipeline rallies across the state, including earlier this week at the state capitol. We had numerous people, even Steve Holt, who's a strong constitutional conservative who's serving in the state legislature right now. He'd endorsed DeSantis. That day he switched to endorse me because DeSantis is publicly on record saying that he would favor eminent domain for the pipeline. And you wonder why? It's not even his fault. It's just money's the mother's milk of politics. So you can't play in the game if you depend on the mother's milk without actually providing your own. And so I've said that as the president, I swear an oath to the Constitution It's unconstitutional for a private company to use eminent domain. That's not a public use. And it's also not necessary. The law says it has to be necessary to use eminent domain. Well, think about it. The law says it's necessary to remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, so necessary that they can use eminent domain on your land, what's next? Next is your gas stove. Next is your cow. Next is your combustion engine vehicle, your car, your truck. What are we looking at right here? We're looking at big rigs. You can come in, walk in, open the garage, take that out, leave a $50 check in your mailbox because that emits carbon dioxide. Well, if they can do it to a farmer to say that actually we have to build this pipeline across your land because capturing carbon dioxide is necessary in the name of the climate emergency, and if you don't want to do it, they'll name the price. If we say yes to that, it's the farmer's land today, it's that truck sitting there tomorrow. So that's why I've called out, as U.S. President, I swear an oath to the Constitution, I will not disburse any of those subsidies to any firm that is using eminent domain to illegally violate the Constitution. That's how we put an end to this. But the fact that I'm the only candidate who can say it, on or off those debate stages, I'm the only candidate who can say it, says a lot about how broken our politics is, and the super PACs. And the super PACs are these monstrous entities that you can donate unlimited amounts of money to, even though the campaign contribution limit is $3,300. That's a farce because most of the money being spent by Haley and DeSantis, frankly, all the campaigns, is provided by super PACs. And that's the people they spend their time with. And that's the people they view as their boss. But like I said, I don't report to them, I report to you, the people of this country. This is a job interview with you, not with the mega donors of the world. That's how our politics needs to be fixed. I'd say that we should ban any congressman from lobbying the government for at least 10 years after they've left the government. I don't think you should be able to join the board of a company for at least 10 years after you've been a regulator of that same company. I don't think congressmen and bureaucrats should be allowed to trade individual stocks while they're in office. Nobody's explained to me how that advances the interests of the American people, yet that's exactly what's codified into the rules today. And it's going to take somebody coming from the outside to get this right. A professional politician isn't going to get that job done. Let's have some real talk here. You guys have a choice to make on Monday. Thank you all for coming out, and by the way, and braving the snowstorm. There were many more who were coming, and understandably, we respect people's decisions in the weather. But I'm going to ask you to share this with the other people in this community, too, what I'm about to tell you. Because I think there's only two legitimate candidates in this race. That's Donald Trump and myself. Those are the only two acceptable choices, I think, in this primary. But I think it's going to take somebody who isn't just an outsider and a businessman, but also somebody who knows and deeply understands the law and the Constitution. They duped Donald Trump. That's what happened. They said you can't fire those civil servant employees, the bureaucrats, because of civil service protections. Well, read the law, actually. Those civil service protections do not apply to mass firings. And mass firings are absolutely what I am bringing to the D.C. bureaucracy. They told him you couldn't end birthright citizenship for the kids of illegals without a constitutional amendment. Actually, read the 14th Amendment, it already applies. So that's what it takes, is a candidate who both understands the law and the Constitution, but also is willing to come in and break things. To actually fix the corruption, that's what it's going to take. And if you want somebody who's going to get in there, shut down the deep state, and speak truth to power, then vote for the candidate who's going to speak the truth to you. And that's what I'm asking you guys to do on Monday night. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. We'll take a couple more before we head out. Got any in the back? Let me ask you a question. How many of you are planning to come out on Monday night to the caucus? Good number of you. Thank you. How many of you are undecided still? All right, how many of you plan to support me? Good number of you. Thank you. And anybody lean towards Donald Trump? Okay, thank you. Thank you for still hosting me. I appreciate it. Thank you. The one thing I want to say actually is, let me see if I can just leave you with this thought. My goal is not to convince you for me. We don't need to be doing this. Actually, our family's life would be a lot better off if we weren't. I got a 3.5-year-old, a 1.5-year-old, a wife who's saving lives. I enjoy building businesses just like you. And I respect the heck out of Donald Trump. I have given him more respect than everybody else in this race has because it's the right thing to do, and I've pushed back against these persecutions through prosecution at every step. But I'm going to ask all of us, and tell the other people in this community the same thing, to open our eyes. I think they're leading us into a trap right now. And it pains me to watch it happening without actually doing something about it. If you think they're going to let Donald J. Trump get anywhere near that White House again, I'm just going to ask you to open your eyes. These people are going to stop at nothing, and they're making it clear they will stop at nothing to keep him away. Yesterday, I personally filed an amicus brief with the U.S. Supreme Court, laying out the legal arguments for why Colorado's Supreme Court absolutely shouldn't remove him from the ballot. Because I'm not sure that they were going to make these arguments, and they need to be made for this country. And so it's not about the legal team defending Donald Trump. This is about defending this country. That's why I filed that with the Supreme Court yesterday while in the middle of this campaign. So I've done everything myself to stop it. But I can tell you on the front lines of this, we can see how this road ends. Study history. Study U.S. history. Study world history. The system's dropped every breadcrumb they can. We're not going to look back a year from now and say, are we shocked by what happened? We're going to say, why didn't we open our eyes to see it? They want to narrow this down to a two-horse race between Trump and a puppet who they can control, eliminate Trump, and then trot in their puppet to the White House. That's the game they're playing right now, and I think we can't fall for that trap. Our America First agenda did not start in 2016. It started in 1776, and we owe it to our founding fathers, and we owe it to this country to make sure we do have another 250 years, and then some still left. And so we love the man because he got this fight started. But it is now our job to finish it. It is my duty to finish it for this country. And so even if it's a little different than what you might have thought of doing 3 months or 3 days ago or even now, I'm asking you to do the right thing for our country on January 15th, on Monday night. If I win the Iowa caucus, I'm your next president. If I'm your next president, we get done the things we need to get done in this country. Shut down that deep state. Revive our national identity that we're long missing. And I believe if you care about saving this country, if you care about saving Trump, I actually think a vote for me on Monday night is the surest way to actually do it. Or else they're selling us the rope today that they will use to hang us tomorrow. And that's what I'm asking for, is to open your eyes, skate to where the puck is going, and do the right thing for the nation. And if you all do your part on Monday night, that's what I'm asking for. I promise you, Apurva and I and our family, we will do ours to make sure that our best days are actually still ahead of us. We don't have to be this nation in decline anymore. We don't have to be at the end of the ancient Roman Empire. I think if George Washington were in this room today, what he would say is that as a nation, we are still really just a little young, actually. Going through our own version of our adolescence. Figuring out who we're going to be when we grow up. And when you view it that way, it makes sense again. You go through your adolescence, you go through that identity crisis, you lose your way a little bit. But we are stronger for it when we get to our adulthood on the other side. So no, I don't think we have to be that nation in decline anymore. I think we still can be a nation in our ascent. I'm not going to be the guy who walks in here and tells you it's morning in America, because it's not. But it can be. I'm not going to look young people in the eye and tell you that the American dream is alive and well right now. It is not. It is alive and hanging on for life support. How could I be here where I am today? Even people who drive trucks for a living. Tell them, we did a truckers event in Walcott, Iowa, and I-80 at the I-80 truck stop, laying out trucker policy. Why is it that it takes somebody coming in from the outside, people who have worked in politics for years, haven't done a darn thing, to pay attention to the people who keep the arteries of our economy running. I think it's going to take an outsider to do it. I couldn't look those truckers in the eye and say it's a political slogan. The American dream is alive and well. Many of those people struggling to make ends meet in the back. We were just talking about this, the ELDs they've been placing in the trucks and everything else. We have a retention problem. People may be able to make basic ends meet. No, the American dream is not alive and well right now, but it can be. I think it's going to take a president to get us there, not a congressman, not a senator. They're not making the rules anymore. It's coming from the deep state. Have a president you elect. The good news is the president can actually fix that by running the executive branch of the government. So we live in a moment where the U.S. president, now more than ever, can make the biggest difference the president ever has without even going through Congress to do it, because the rot is really in the executive branch of government. So this is our moment. 5 years from now, the interest payments on our national debt become the largest line item in our federal budget. We don't have a country left. If my kids are in high school, if our kids are in high school, before we get this right, I don't think we have a country left. But this is our moment still, and I think it may be our last best chance where I can tell you this. I still think we don't have to be in decline. I still think we can be in our ascent, but it's going to take every one of us to do our jobs. Our family, we're going to do ours. I'm asking you to do yours. 30 minutes of your time on Monday night, even in the cold. If you guys came here, I know you're going to be fine on Monday night if you came here on this. But I'm asking you this weekend to tell 10 people who couldn't be here. Tell them about what we talked about. Open their eyes too, to make sure we don't fall for their trap. Bring them out on Monday night. And if you all do your part, we will do ours to make sure we create that country where we can look our kids in the eye and mean it. When we tell them you get ahead in the United States of America with your own hard work, your own commitment, your own dedication. And that you know what? You are free to speak your mind at every step of the way. That is the American dream. That is what we are running to. And with your help on Monday, that is what we are going to revive to save this great country. Thank you for coming out today, guys. God bless you and your families, and may God bless our United States of America. Thank you guys for having me, and thank you for opening up this company to me. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Onward to next stop. We have time for some pictures? Okay, maybe a few. Yeah, thank you. How old are you guys? 16. Proud of you for being here, man. You too? 15. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, it's nice to meet you. I'm proud of you for coming. Thank you. Thank you. We love that. Thank you. Come on, gentlemen.
Chase. High school boys.
Thank you. Come on in, man. You know, your high school senior friends can vote at the caucus. If you send them out for me, I appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Hey, thank you for everything. It was good to be here. Thank you. Spread the message to the community. We're going to do this. I think we're going to do this.
Yeah, I hope so. God willing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you. Hey,
Nice to meet you.
good to meet you, sir. Jeff, good to see you.
You inspired me.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm very inspired.
We're going to do our part for this country.
I appreciate that.
You spread the message in this community. We're going to do it.
Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing.
You've done the caucus before?
Yes. Yep.
I appreciate your support Monday night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Means a lot to me.
Thank you.
Wonderful listening to you.
Thank you. What's your
I
name?
got a gut feel last
Oh, you did. How was it? How'd it come across?
And then I was looking forward to today.
We're going to do it tonight too.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was so good.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
So
you.
best wishes to you.
Thank
and
you. It means a
I'm
lot.
very inspired by you today. So
Thank
that's
you.
Awesome.
Thank you. It means a
again.
lot. Thanks a lot.
Yes.
It's an honor. Have you
Yes.
done the caucus?
Yes, I'm absolutely going. Yes.
I appreciate your support Monday.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
you.
Spread the message here
All
for
right,
us.
I
Thank
will.
you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Hey,
Richard
good to see you.
Reitke.
Richard, good to see you.
Yeah,
man.
I saw you at the Leadership Summit.
Oh, okay, great. Good to see you again.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I was really impressed with you there.
Thank you.
Really impressed today.
Well, I
like
appreciate the
what
kind words.
Trump did and tried to do.
So did I, and so do I.
Great.
Okay.
Fighting everybody.
Okay.
But,
Thank you. Okay. Okay.
but I'm going to vote for you.
I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. And we're going to do our part, and that's how we're going to save this country. Good to see you, man. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Spread the message in this community.
Okay.
Let everybody know who couldn't be here. Thank you for braving the snow, guys. It's an honor to be here. Good to see you guys. Appreciate your support on Monday night.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It means a lot.
How about healthcare?
We don't have health care. We have sick care.
Well, we have
a sick care system.
long-term care in trouble, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think that we have to eliminate the antitrust exemptions for health insurance companies. So we have a competitive health insurance market that actually pays for the kind of care people aren't getting. I know a lot about this. My wife is in the healthcare industry.
I'm in long-term care.
You are? You're in long-term care?
Yeah,
Okay.
28 years.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that we need a system that actually pays for it.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
We have a system that doesn't pay for it today, but it's because of the corruption.
22 nursing homes in Iowa have closed since this time last year, 22.
I'm-
what are we going to do with those people?
It's a disaster.
And now we're going to have our mandatory staffing mandate.
And that's only going to
It's gonna
worsen
come
in the
on
next
us.
10 years unless we do something about it. You know, my
gonna
mom
get rid
was
of
my mom treated patients with Alzheimer's in nursing homes in
that's what I
Ohio.
do.
That's right. Oh, really?
Yeah.
And because my dad had to work during night school, I used to go to those nursing homes with my mom.
so did my
I
kids.
grew up playing the piano there, actually.
Yeah.
So we understand it.
I just
I think you need a system that pays
healthcare,
for it.
so.
Absolutely. It didn't come up today, but I talk about it a lot, actually.
I'm going to get rid of the people in Washington, D.C.
Of course.
HHS. Call the
HHS and
shots.
CMS, both. HHS's bureaucracy has grown rotten to its core. People have lost their minds. They don't know the first thing about the healthcare system at all, and yet they're actually trying to create it. So,
Some of us have done it.
yeah, I appreciate that. Maybe we actually will.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Angie.
Angie, I appreciate
Bruns,
that. Thank you.
Administrator at the Hubbard Care Center for 21 years.
Thank you.
Now
I
I have a little
appreciate it.
different role, and I'm in all of Iowa and Care Center. So
Have you done the caucus before?
no, but I'm going to.
I appreciate you doing that Monday night. You have my word. This is a priority for me, and we'll talk about it more.
Yeah.
Actually, too. It's a
Okay,
good
thank
point.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, man.
Got a question for you.
Yeah, sure. You want to do it while we walk out? Sure. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
So-
I want to say, yeah, tell me.
So you gonna do like anything for like the military, like pay raises? Or
Oh yeah,
something like that?
oh yeah, I've already said. Sorry, I could have said it today. Eliminate federal taxation for all military compensation and veterans benefits. We do that right out of the gate, and then actually part of the thing we got to have is a veteran system that actually doesn't require people to drive 200 miles to their nearest VA. That actually makes the veterans the shareholders of the VA to decide who the pay is of the people who are actually running the VA. That's how you actually make the VA accountable to our own veterans. Paid 6-week decompression buffers is something I've said too. Paid. So that people actually lower their PTSD when they come back. And so those are, I've unleashed comprehensive veterans policy, but a country that doesn't stand for its veterans isn't a country. So that's you have my word on that, man.
Thank you.
Come out Monday night.
Will do.
Spread the message. Hey,
Thank you
good
very
to see
much.
you. Thank you for coming out. I appreciate
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Thanks for bringing the kids too.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate it. Appreciate your guys' support Monday.
Yeah,
Thanks a
we'll be
lot. Thank you, man. Thank you for having us. I appreciate it. Take care, guys. Hey, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
You about
Thank
took
you.
the camera
Yeah, I did. Exactly. That's all right. Good to see you. And yeah.
What's you've got younger kids? You worried about this transgender stuff going on?
Oh yeah. We're gonna put an end to it though. If you're an adult and you want to dress how you want, I'm not going to stop you.
Yep.
You're not going to foist that onto our kids.
Yep.
Ban chemical castration, genital mutilation in kids, all of it. And also social media use under the age of 16.
Yeah.
If you're not using an addictive cigarette at 18, you shouldn't be having an addictive social media product at the age of 16 either. So that's where I'm at, man.
Yeah.
Love your
meet you.
outfit, man. Good meeting you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your support
Good
on Monday, man.
Want a
Thank you.
picture?
Oh, we love it. Thank you.
Local picture.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your.
I'm glad you come out.
Just think about it between now and Monday.
You know what? You're going to be my guy because, like we talked about in Iowa City,
Yeah.
we need fresh wheels.
Yes,
Fresh
we do.
legs,
Yes,
fresh
I
legs.
appreciate that. So
Yes.
thank you, man.
All right.
And for all the people who couldn't come, do you have the list or do we have the list?
I think you guys do.
Okay. Just if you could spread the message though in this community
We will.
to them, I appreciate it.
Don't lay down.
We're not.
All right.
We're not. We're going to the next site from here.
Have a good one.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Where are we going from here? Where's the next stop?
We're going Fort Dodge.
Fort Dodge.
So who's driving? If I were you,
Yeah.
Google's going to tell you to go this way.
Okay.
So 35. I would not go west. I would go north up to Highway 20. It's going to be a few extra minutes, but 175 between here and the interstate drifts awful in multiple spots.
Okay.
You have the road's going to be shit either way.
Okay.
But the odds of it being less shitty is going north.
Okay. Go north. All right.
North, do not
Go north and take what?
So if you listen to
Got it. Got it. Good. Thank you. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Hey, Patrick, are there people there?
Sorry.
Are there people there at the next one?
They're setting up right now.
Okay.
I just
Thank you.
might as well say
Yeah.
like it's
We'll see you guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
see you, buddy.
See you, bud.
Good to see you. Thank you, guys.
Good to see you, buddy.
It's good to see you. We got your back, all right?
And Iran off the map.
What's that?
Wipe Iran off the map.
Wipe all of our enemies in the place where they don't need to be. So, Monday night. I know it's going to be cold, but I'm asking you to come out.
And energy, you got people in that too, the energy.
Of course, we're going to unlock all that. Drill and frack and burn coal, all of it.
Yeah.
You got my word on it, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Embracing the cold today after the first event. Huh?
Absolutely. Absolutely.